Hi guys, I'm going to go ahead and go through solving literal equations. So the first thing we're going to do is look at, it'll tell you exactly which variable to solve for. So all of these equations don't really have too many numbers in them. They're all just variables, which is why it's called literal equations, because they're just all variables that you're working with. So the first one, it's telling you to solve for r. So the way the equation is written, it's written as d equals r times t. So to get r by itself, we need to get rid of the t to the other side. So how do you undo multiplication? You do division. So we divide both sides, and then r equals d over t. And that's really all we need to do here. We don't really have numbers to substitute in, so that's all we're doing. So like this one's number 2, c equals, whoops, sorry. Okay, I think that was just the mouse. C equals 2 times pi times r. So to get r by itself again, these are being multiplied. So to undo that, we're going to do division by 2 pi. And so r equals c over 2 pi. And that's really all we need to do is solve for the variable that they're asking for. So for number 3, it's c plus h. So if I want to get h by itself, there's like an invisible plus sign in front of the c. So I'm going to do the opposite, which is, or the inverse, and subtract c from both sides. This mouse just keeps, sorry. Okay, so we're going to get, and then you can't really, b and c are not like terms, so all you can do is write b minus c equals h. And that's your final answer. Okay, so the same thing here for the next one. We're solving for w, so we want to move the x, so minus x, we're going to add x. And again, y and x are not the same, so all we can do is just write out y plus x equals w. Okay, so we'll go ahead and look at number 5. Now this one we're going to solve for b. So it's being multiplied by h, so I can divide by h. So a over h equals 1/2 b. Now how do you get b by itself? Well, this is times 1/2, so I can multiply by the reciprocal, times 2 over 1. And those will cancel to give you b equals 2a over h. And this is your equation. For w, we're going to solve. Okay, now this one, before we even get to this w, we need to get rid of the 2l. So how do we do that? Minus 2l from both sides. P minus 2l equals 2w, and then we can divide by 2. And then that's how we can just leave our answer. P minus 2l all over 2. Okay, and we have a little bit more here. This might be a good time to like pause and try this on your own, but I can like continue and then you can kind of check your answers. So we're trying to solve for p here, so we can subtract 3n. Now this one, they are like terms. 2n minus 3n is negative 1n. So you can combine like terms if they are like terms. Now y equals mx plus b, we're solving for m. So before we jump over to the m, we have to subtract the b, like the outside-most pieces. And so we're going to subtract b. Y minus b equals mx, and these are being multiplied. So to undo multiplication, we can divide by x. So m equals y minus b all over x. Okay, and then we'll do another one here. Solve for p. Okay, here's where p is. So k is close to p. and then j is kind of further away. So you want to start with the furthest away piece. So it's being divided by j, so I'm going to go ahead and multiply by j. So j times n equals p minus k. And then to undo that, minus k, we can go ahead and add k to both sides. Jn plus k equals p. And this is your final answer. Okay, last one. This is probably the hardest one. So f equals 9/5 c plus 32. So we're trying to solve for c. So what do we need to get rid of? Well, the 9/5 is really close to it, so we need to get rid of that outside piece of 32 by minusing. So f minus 32 equals 9/5 c. And again, this is your fraction, so how do you undo fractions? Well, you multiply by the reciprocal. And that's the same thing here, multiply by the reciprocal. So c equals, and we want to put these parentheses in because you're multiplying both of these by 5/9. If I don't put the parentheses, it looks like I'm only multiplying the f by that. So we want to make sure we have parentheses to show that both of these get multiplied by 5/9. And that's what c is equal to. So I think you're ready for the homework now. So good luck, guys, and finish the homework hopefully before the end of the period. Thank you for watching.